Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. All right, Silver Mumblings Podcast, episode 4, baby. Here we go. All right, time to introduce my co-hosts. Give me 1 second while I undeafen. All right, here we go. Hey, it works. It works. Let me full screen this. All right, why do you always say this as soon as I start streaming? Alright, welcome to Sober Mumblings, episode 4. Today we got face cams. I'm your wonderful host, Joe Bro. That's me, and the green screen behind me. To my, this way, that way, right, cameras work. That's Mr. Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning. You know, and his wonderful, dark red beard with backwards hat, colorful microphone. Yes, welcome. Say hello to the crowd.
Hello.
Perfect. Okay, I'm checking your audio as I introduce y'all, just so you're aware. Above me is Minty, aka my little brother, and what is also a dark green background going on. Say hello.
Hello.
Not you, Sam.
Shut up, Sam.
T, say something.
Next to the guy, so he's loud enough to hear two times. So.
Perfect. All right, there we go. So now I know he's not that bad. And to my this over here, this man in the corner is Donner, Sam Donner. We'll refer to him as many names tonight. He froze. He's literally froze. This man died immediately. It's pretty funny.
Run, reverse that side you were pointing towards.
No, on my stream, everyone knows who I'm pointing at.
He's above me. Where's he at in relation to me?
He's above you. Yeah. Okay. Sam.
He's above me?
Yeah.
Jake, am I pointing towards
Yes.
Hi, Sam.
Okay. Well, Jake is incredibly loud compared to the rest of you.
Who am I pointing towards right now?
You're pointing towards nobody. You're pointing
Sam,
Yeah.
I need you to speak and fix your frickin' camera.
What? What do you mean my camera?
It's frozen constantly.
Jake, this is where you are.
You're frozen doing this number.
You're down here.
I'm in this
This
direction.
is where Jonathan is for me.
Let me do this.
I'm down and.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. No, there we go.
I'm right here.
Okay, nobody cares. Nobody cares. All right, listen.
Is it fine? Can you
We're
see me
gonna
now?
spend way too much time of the podcast. Yeah, I can
Can you
see
see
you.
me now?
Everyone's guest. We can
Okay.
see you. Okay, we're gonna spend way too much
looking
time in
through
this
the camera.
podcast. You
You
could
looking
do
through the
that.
camera?
Yeah,
If
no,
you look
everyone's
comfortable,
gonna do that. Yeah,
I feel like everyone's gonna be uncomfortable. Just like,
no. Yeah, that was a good one. Anyway, so it's another casual conversation episode, and if you don't know anything about the casual conversation episodes, let me tell you something. It is a mind-blowing experience, as you know, because last time we talked about topics with my my friend T. All we did was talk about stuff like, is the ocean a soup, and cereal brands that shouldn't make cereals, and then breakfast cereals, like the fact that there are actual cereals that contain bacon is kind of
Real quick.
illegal.
real quick.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but I'm watching any of your other podcasts. Really, sorry. I will get around to it. But what was is the ocean a soup?
What? That would have been the last episode, episode 3. That was casual conversation. The episode name was the Two Cups podcast, because it was your cup of Joe and a cup of tea, which was the guy who was doing it. It was pretty funny, actually. You're getting your morning brew. I should have called it morning brew. Frick. I'm gonna change the name of that now. I am indecisive as frick. Anyway, this is the what do I want to call this? Because y'all are recurring hosts. So, like, oh my god, we've already lost one of them. We could call them.
The coconuts is what our soon-to-be maybe podcast if we do it.
I could be it could be called, well, yeah, but the only problem you run into is like, if that's y'all's podcast name and then I have this, do I just call my featured episode the?
It's two groups of siblings.
Or maybe it's called the.
Oh wait! I got you. We're gonna be called the brothers from different mothers, spelled with an A at the end of both words.
Are from the same. Make it like really complicated, but like.
No, because it won't fit in a YouTube title.
Except two
of them are
from the same mother, and so are.
Yeah, it's broken. It's broken. It's literally broken. So listen, here's what we're gonna refer to this as. Wait, I got it. Let me hurt y'all first. We call it the Brotherhood, which sounds so cultish, or we could call it the ThurmBanks.
Oh gosh, well, that sounds.
The ThurmBank.
No, Sam. ThurmBank.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you know what it sounds like?
You hear what we're saying.
Yes, I do hear what you're saying.
What is you do?
This is bad.
Do you understand? Do you understand?
I get it now. Okay, I heard
Okay.
It really was a whole minute before he realized what was happening there. He's muted.
Does he realize?
I think he knows he's muted, because if I talk too loudly, it'll pick his up over there, but I don't think it particularly matters. There's a whole freaking fan between us. But
we need you.
Anyway,
Okay.
we'll figure out a name. It'll be in the thumbnail title. Whatever we choose, it'll be absolutely.
I think the ThurmBanks is pretty good.
Okay, I guess that's what we're calling it then. What?
It is so funny.
It is so funny, Tim.
I don't even know.
We are adult men.
So.
He's an adult man. I'm close to adult man. You are not.
I'm so far from.
Okay, so what we have is major. I can't point the right direction. Eventually, I'll get there. Yeah, over here we have minor, and we have child, and we have other. Where would this go? Other. Frick, I can't point my. Either other child, the one in the corner.
Other child.
So it's major, minor, and 2 children. Anyway, so we're gonna move on. Anyway, so the first random question I came up with for this podcast is, if you lived in the Stone Age, right? If you lived in the Stone Age, what do you think would have been entertainment? Like, what would have been found interesting to you?
I know what you're gonna do. Sam.
Removing the idea of technology that we have today, removing the idea of like, we're like, imagine a caveman, and that's you, and like you have stones to build with, and this entire civilization is stone age.
Like stone Legos.
What would you use to entertain yourself? I will let Jake go first, since clearly he's got something to say.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. I believe hunting. Like, if you would,
I got one as
I could
well.
go. I could be serious, or I could
got
be.
one.
Or I could.
I got one.
Hold on, let him finish, and then I'll move. Okay, here's how the trail, when I ask the questions, just real quick, let's establish this. The trail of questions is whoever chimes in first, and then it rotates, like, a left. So, like, for example,
That person doesn't want to connect.
then they can pass. But the idea is that, like, for example, Jake is directly at the bottom, so it would go up to Sam and then over to Timothy and then down to me. So that's the order: Jake, Sam, Tim, unless you chime in. Then it chimes in. It would go Tim, Jake, Sam if he chimed in. That's how we get. So Jake goes first in this one.
Okay, so you want serious answer or funny answer?
Either way.
Funny answer would be preferred, but serious answer sounds like it would be a good idea at some point.
Okay.
I think Jake's the only one that'll take it seriously.
That is true.
I
I'm
could-
looking at him. He looks like a
Do
kid.
both. Do both. Do both. Let's hear both.
Should I start with serious answer?
Start with serious and then lighten the mood. Yes.
Hunting is like, I mean, I think that's beyond like age. You could just go kill a woolly mammoth, you know.
Yeah.
Am I going next? Please tell me I am.
And
Yes.
that's why I'm going further. Instead of hunting animals, though, I was thinking more like other cavemen. Like,
Dude, that's what I was thinking. No, you took my idea. An underground cave fight. But you don't fight humans, you fight monkeys.
What monkeys? I didn't say nothing about monkeys.
I mean, I guess they're technically still human. in the Stone Age, but you know.
I would obviously be the head of it. Smaller fights. And maybe someone dies. Who knows? We're in the Stone Age. We don't have very good medical stuff. You know? I mean,
Yeah.
Who knows? A monkey might rip your head off. Who knows?
it has happened.
It happens. It does. It happens. I've seen it firsthand.
That's just part of life in the Stone Age.
Okay. Sam, let's hear your.
It's all for my entertainment.
Well,
Yes.
he already
It's funny,
took mine.
It's funny.
Mine is an underground. Okay, my funny one was
No,
the
that's Jake's
underground
one.
cave fighting.
That was my funny one. The underground monkey.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's freaking what. No, that was
fighting
mine.
Pavement.
That was mine.
Okay, look. Jake got his out. Sam, go now. You can like whatever you choose to put
Add on
there.
to it. Add on. To
Yeah,
it.
add your
on.
own variation.
You can't
Well,
think.
serious would be like, I don't know.
I have
bringing
such a
on
good answer.
Something with like bones to make music. I don't know.
Oh, okay. That's a good answer.
And then like
Bone instruments.
bone instruments.
Sa-
They're, like,
dude, the
funny,
the
like-
xylophone would be so fun to play on bones.
Oh, yeah.
Like a fight to the death with a monkey over a worm or something. I don't know.
Jake, isn't this what you
The-
and
but the
T
monkey-
did in the Hive SMP?
Oh yeah. No.
Literally, you were just mob. Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
so y'all just consistently want things to be fighting
Yes,
each
I mean,
other.
I'm
Oh
basically
shoot, you're
Caesar.
right, Snow Duck.
Basically Caesar, and I have the and I am yeah. And then there's the Colosseum. I mean, these are greatest
Yes.
empire.
All right.
With the Romans and all that.
Okay, I gotta
They
say,
knew how to have a good time.
with the music and bones, dude, Sam, you would have such a boner, dude.
What the?
Oh my.
All right, T. What was
That
yours?
was
Okay,
great,
great
great.
fun, yeah.
Tim, that was an amazing
Very
joke
fun.
right there.
You know, back in that day and age, there was nothing to do other than just sit down in a stone chair and look out the window, which is basically your phone or TV. That is my serious.
You don't have a window back in this day and age.
Yeah, no, there was
You
no.
just
You live
like a,
in
just
the-
like cut
You live in a Stone
cut
Age?
in the
window. You just
yeah.
see a giant square.
Clearly.
Oh, Sam, we were so stupid. We don't know how to make a square. Just
Out of glass.
It doesn't even have to be.
Not even
It doesn't
glass,
even
just
have to be a
glass.
square. It could be an
Any
oval or a
shape, any
circle
shape
or
at
a
all.
triangle.
And then here's my joking
A
one. My joking one.
upside
is
down
that-
triangle.
Listen. Why the Stone Age invented the circle? And some of us have seen this from Instagram. All you gotta do is lay it on the ground, and then put a stick in it, and you got a stripper pole.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean, what were the clothes
Oop.
back then?
Hold up. I fricked up.
Fixing my camera. Would you
So
freak out?
basically, you're saying
That was my joke.
that translate across all time. Every man can enjoy that from Stone Age to current age
Yes.
And I remember back then, all they had was a tiger cloth or
to
something
modern
like that.
age. I'm sure that's exactly what they wore.
Whatever they were wearing during the Stone Age.
All right. My answer. Has anyone thought about the fact that stones can be both the bowling ball and the bowling
And
pins?
the pin.
So basically, you're suggesting
Stone
the Flintstone.
bowling, but like with a twist. the winner
Doesn't
gets
die.
rights to the countryside. Like they get land. They like bowling at this point. All right. I'm making up a false idea of a civilization in the Stone Age, but the idea is that bowling was the way you traded. Like it was like a duel. The winner basically like got to stay alive and have their land and take over the land of the loser. The loser essentially is now homeless. So like basically, if someone challenged you to a bowling match, it was to the death. But they didn't, because they didn't, they were civilized back then. That they still didn't. They didn't. I mean, they had all these stone weapons, but they never beat each other up with them. They just bowled to.
I bet they did beat each other.
Well, look. No. In my creative world, they didn't beat each other up because they felt like it was wrong. So instead, they bowled to the death. And essentially, if you lost, you would die of starvation.
That was actually
Like
the
this.
case for. That's exactly what I was thinking, Sam. That's actually the case for. I think was it Aztecs had a game, where they hit it with the hip, the ball through a goal, and I think it was. I don't remember if the winners got sacrificed or. Let me tell you about something about Aztecs. They love their sacrifices, man. They have so many.
How do you know?
I'm just. Yeah.
Why were you
there's,
looking?
like,
Okay.
Former Aztec.
Okay, look. But but here's the thing. You want to.
Like in the past
I
life.
really don't remember if it was the winners who got sacrificed or if it was the losers. Either one.
This sounds like Hunger Games.
Because being sacrificed was like a big privilege or something.
What do you mean turn all of them up? Oh, you mean like I can just increase the stream volume.
Why are you?
Stupid.
Yeah, there it goes. Is that better? Anyway,
Turn all. Who said that?
it was Kaysen. Anyway,
Wow.
the stream chat's not supposed to be
Hi,
involved
Kaysen.
in the podcast.
You mind
Frick
if
you.
I ask a question about me real quick?
wait.
About you?
Wait.
Should I shave the beard? I'm going through a crisis right now. Should I shave the beard? Or part of the beard?
Okay,
Or should I
look.
just go goatee? Should I go goatee?
Look. Coming from a guy who is shaved, you will look 30 pounds heavier if you shave the beard. I shave my beard, I
Greg.
gain 15 pounds in my head.
Chubby right now.
If he shaved,
beard?
he would look like an avocado. Like it would just be narrow at the top and
Avocado?
rounded at the bottom.
Oh, damn, no, you're not funny, Sam. You're just not.
I'm talking about the fat, because he's fat.
Yeah,
Like,
Like
gonna be
I'm
fatter
telling
if
you,
it's a
the beard,
avocado. You know.
the beard legitimately, it hides 15 pounds at least. It always does. You want to know why? Because the hair distracts you from the rolls of fat that it's hiding. No one notices it
Exactly.
because there's hair. You want to know why? Because at one point, this right here going on my face was like grown out. I could roll my chin and you wouldn't even notice. Now you can see the waves all the way down. So, I mean, depends. Do you want to be attractive or do you want to shave your beard?
Or do you want to lose weight?
Yeah,
Oh.
I've just got so
No,
many.
gain weight. Sam.
Do you want to
Maybe
be
just lose
fat? I
weight.
mean, you could
That's
trim it.
a-
Like you could probably make it not look like you've lived in a cave, but like
And your neck fat.
like
Are you
that.
suggesting that that's how I look right now, John?
I mean, sure, but like,
Oh, okay.
like if
Well then.
you no, I'm joking. If you like were to like trim it up, make it look like smooth, then
I'm just got a lot of
all
I got a
those
lot of
women that
different
you make
voices.
up in your head might actually fall for you.
Yeah, 'cause the women
You don't
in
have a
my
lot
head
of
don't even
voices.
fall.
Everyone is saying for you to not shave it.
No, mom and dad both, which I guess I shouldn't be taking advice from them.
I was
Don't
about,
take
I was about to
advice
say,
But-
I
about
mean,
facial hair.
They-
Although,
they're
well,
on
Dad has a
my-
beard.
Yeah, I know, but dad says, well, he says I should. We're getting totally off topic, but I guess it's just casual conversation.
Yeah,
so-
that's-
Fine. There's no point
this is
to
gonna
this.
be
Saying
such
I
a
should-
weird podcast episode.
Well, he said to like shave it that way because I can grow it in a little bit thicker up here. That way it's not a chin strap beard as much.
Yeah.
Which I guess
could
I
just have, like,
understand.
Yeah, well, you could
A
probably
little bit
like
thicker right here.
you could possibly like cut it shorter. But like I mean to me, if you
I
shave
can
it all the
trim
way
it.
off,
When
It'll grow back. It'll grow back thicker. It's just that it will take
When
a
he
while.
trims it, Dick, are you trying to
It's
say
so
when you trim it, at
patchy,
least
it's so
patches?
patchy,
Yeah.
yes.
It's like
so
it's like the
patchy.
heftiness stuff is right now like covers up the patchiness by him just like just
Or
moving
I could
around,
just shave
whatever.
it all and just have the pedo stash.
No, because that makes you look like
And then
a
I
criminal.
get the mullet, and then I complete the look.
No, look. I'm telling you from a guy who tried to have a mustache without the beard as a white dude.
Gosh, you did. I don't.
It
wait,
does,
when
no,
this
I
happened.
look like
I look
like somebody who was doing funny business. Like it was rough. I looked in the mirror and I was like, I look like I have stolen financial security from like 30 people. Like I went online and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna
Underage
steal like
women.
the investments of a bunch.
If
Not
I saw this
underage.
picture of
What
you
the
right
frick,
now-
Jake?
It's called a
I
pedo
saw
stash
this
for a
picture-
reason.
Yeah, well, I mean,
If I
you
saw
could
this
call
picture
it that.
right now, and you just had the mustache,
And you're just
I
short
would think
enough
you would
that you
take
could
my-
pull that off. But like, I don't know.
Okay, look, do I look any more threatening now that I just have the mustache visible?
No, you
You
just
look
no. I
like
don't want to say
somewhat-
what I'm thinking. Anyway, no, you definitely don't want just the mustache. I feel like if you go clean shaven and let it all grow back naturally.
No, just goatee, no shave the sides.
No,
go
just
goatee.
if you're gonna shave anything, I feel like it would look better to just go all out, clean it off, and then let it grow back thicker. Then you can decide once it's thicker what you style it.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to do that though. I hate having to regrow a whole beard.
I know. I've done it 100 times.
I have this picture.
Picture.
Of right after my
After he
surgery,
got surgery.
when I had just started growing my beard, and it was like just like this
Yeah,
tiny
it's a
little
patch.
line of hair, and I hate that picture because I'm so out of it. My head's like all back like this.
Well, here's
I'm
the
laying
thing.
down right after waking up from
Yeah,
surgery.
if you shave it like once a week for like a solid year, and you let it kind of just naturally be clean shaven for a while,
I don't
when
know
you
if I
let
could
it
do
grow
that.
out though, it will grow back so fast and it'll be so thick. Like I'm telling you, not every week, but
I've heard that that's just a lie. That's an old wife
No.
tale that it grows back thicker.
so
Just remember, he's only 17.
and here's the thing. It also
I
has
know,
to
but I
do
like
no.
having a beard.
Look.
I look like a child. I look like a child without it.
Exactly.
It
Everyone
makes me
here.
So much younger.
Look.
Makes me
Can
look
I
so much
finish?
younger.
Let me finish. So I've learned because like I have a beard. Like if you look at this crap right here, like this right here is shaved. This has been recently shaved. Every time I've shaved it, it comes back thicker on the sideburns. This right here stays the same, which I'm fine with at the moment. But like everything grows back faster and thicker.
Just get the
But-
mutton chops going.
Yeah, but don't tempt me.
Oh no.
I've debated that
please.
one. I'm debating it still. No, but like.
No, don't.
Shh.
That is like trailer like park looking.
So here's
stuff
the deal.
right
No,
there,
look,
my
here's the
guy.
deal. No, if every time I've shaved it, I look 15. Like right now, I'm pulling off 17 because at least it's come back a little bit. When it's fully grown, I look like I'm 21, which is exactly what my age is about to be.
I like passing for older right now.
Yes.
Although I'm
Except that it won't play at advantage if it just you look like a bush. Like it's not gonna help you.
I feel like the beard looks fine now.
It
Just
does.
let it grow out
It looks
as it's already there. It's
If you're gonna shave it at all, shave all of it.
If it's like really light hair right here and the thick stuff.
well, then
right
trim it down
here,
at that point. When you let it grow out here, just start to trim it down.
Look.
Try to like
uh,
fade it into it or something like that. I
Here's the
don't
thing:
know.
if you shave any of it off, you might as well go for the whole like clean shaven, let it grow back, and then deal with it. I'm telling you, it would take a process.
Imagine, like I haven't looked at
Whatever
my face.
you want.
It's been a year literally now that I've had a beard. I haven't looked at my face without one in so long. It would be strange.
It's like Duck Dynasty when they shave their beards. Anyway,
it's so
I don't
stupid
remember
'cause
that.
they look so good with
Jace
beard.
shaved his beard and he looked like he looked 35. I was like, you're what, in your mid 50s at this point? I don't even remember. Anyway, so here's the deal. We're gonna move on from beards because I think
Right,
we've
yes.
spent a solid 30 minutes or 20 minutes talking about beards. So a good question to ask now.
Great.
I can't.
How great.
Good question. A good question to ask now. Okay, so you gave me the beard conversation. Now I'm very intrigued. So, we're gonna take this into a serious connotation, and then we're gonna let it go wherever it wants. So everyone's gonna give a serious answer, and then we're gonna give like a ridiculous answer. The question now I will give you is, how much does hair matter to the idea of being physically attractive?
For men.
Okay.
And where?
Okay. So hold on. Everyone, okay. If we're talking about from the neck up, how?
Because I don't know anything about that below stuff.
Like,
Yes.
the more the
Move
hair,
on.
the better.
Yeah. Okay. No. As a guy. All right. As a guy, what would you say a girl's, like, how much does it make a girl look more like a girl? It's a very strange question to ask. And how important do you think it is that it, like, long hair, short hair, does it actually catch your attention?
Like for a guy, though?
Yes. And then I'm going to ask the question,
For
as a guy,
So, like,
would you also, I would ask the same question about it. What would you say for a guy it means? Because, like, for example, a lot of girls are a bit more obsessed with their hair, but guys literally could not give a crap about it in some ways. Like, what I'm saying is, how important do you think it is to the actual physical appearance of a person? Do they look better? Now, I'm not trying to say, like, subjective attractiveness. I'm saying, do they look overall better? Yes. Does it matter in the grand scheme of things?
yes, 120%.
Okay,
I'm not
now.
even joking. I've seen people with bad haircuts, and I've seen them with good haircuts, and it's a big freaking difference.
Okay, starting with Jake.
On the long versus short, I used to not like girls with short hair, and I think
I didn't say personal.
Well, I mean, I can't speak.
Are we talking about girls?
Hold on. Listen. I'm gonna explain. Jake, starting with Jake, going to Timothy, then me, or going to Sam, Timothy, me. What's gonna happen is, I'm asking the question to you, Jake. How important do you think it is if a person can pull off not having their hair styled in a certain way or
Is that
done
a
in a
man
certain way?
or a
Man or woman.
Or
At
is
the
it just
moment,
both?
you can do both. You can do both. Man and woman. What's the separation between the two? Why does it matter? What's the difference maker in your eyes? We are going to make this a little bit more subjective because, technically speaking, there is no right or wrong answer to this question.
In what way? Like between what?
Okay, I'm gonna give my
hear
answer,
what
and
you're
then maybe
saying,
my
but it's
hang on.
not
Let me give my answer, and then
yeah,
maybe that'll help.
okay, do that.
So
Yeah,
my answer
yeah.
would be, the idea is, like, on the scale of how, like, you would consider someone like, hey, they look like well groomed, whatever you want to put there. But then other people with messier hair can actually just pull off that hairstyle and not look like a caveman. So, or a cave woman. So hang on, let me finish. Hang on, let me finish. Let me finish.
Pull off the caveman.
Yes. No. It's yes. How important is it for hair to be a part of the look? Because, like, for example, everyone talks about, like, you know, when you try to look professional, it's about dressing. It's about, like, you want to smile. You want to have, like, good eye contact. But, like, if you could pull off wearing a hat to an interview and have hair that looks like mine, I'm not showing my hair, for very simple facts that it looks like trash. If you could pull off wearing a hat in a business professional way and it looked good, like, would it even be necessary to, like, have a good hairstyle if, like, looking professional is basically just covering up in a more fancy way? So, like, the question I'm asking is, like, okay, I'm trying not to make this. Okay, you know what, frick it. I'm throwing that question in the trash, and I'm just going to be completely and utterly a disgusting human being. I'm going to ask the straight-up question. Is it more attractive for a person to have hair than to have no hair at all? Period.
Where?
Answer.
Neck up! Oh, my gosh.
Timothy.
Okay. Because you could also talk about this in beards as well. Like, the guys that have no beards versus guys that do have beards, or women that have beards for some reason.
John.
Like I said, we're gonna be scumbags today.
It's very dependent on the person, is my answer.
Okay.
Like, especially for beards.
Take it lightly.
Some dudes can need a beard, Some dudes don't. Some dudes, when they try to grow a beard, it's just not. It's
This-
not it.
It just looks like someone
And
It's
then-
kind of funny
fuzz.
when a bald guy has a beard. Because, like, you can grow it
Funny.
down here, but you can't grow it up here.
It migrates. That's
It's,
how
well,
it works.
it's my.
That's
it's
how
Okay,
my
but think about
dad.
it.
That's
No,
my
I'm
dad.
sorry. I'm
That's
gonna
how it
make this.
works.
I'm gonna make this a
Migrate
racial
down.
racial thing. Black dudes look good,
Oh,
bald.
Exactly. That's what I was about to
Period.
say.
Yes,
I was like, am I allowed to
they
say this?
do.
They're
No.
bald,
Period.
like,
White
white
dudes
can't pull it
cannot pull it off. They
No.
all look like they got done killing their
Basically.
entire family.
all
They
Yeah,
all
I-
look like
I
a
didn't- I didn't
mugshot
know
for
if we could
someone
do
who
the
has
race thing.
murdered a family
They
of
look like
people.
Mr.
Mr. Clean.
Also,
Mr.
also,
Clean.
also.
Yeah, all Mr. Clean. They all look like Mr. Clean.
They either Mr. Clean or ex-convicts.
He looks like a. That is.
No, he doesn't look like an ex-convict. You want to know why? Because he's wearing all white. And like you cannot look like. Okay, let me
That's
rephrase
your
that. You look
opinion.
clean. You
That's
look
your
clean. He
opinion.
looks clean. He looks clean. I'm saying
He
like
is
you either
Mr.
look like
Clean.
Mr. Clean as a bald white dude, or you look like an ex-convict as a bald white dude, or a convict in general. But my point being is that black dudes can pull off bald head. I mean, Michael Jordan is a good example of this. There's a whole
Kobe.
bunch more I can go. Kobe, yes, bald is
Yep.
bald
Well,
is
he had a
cue
little
ball.
bit of-
But,
Yes,
like-
that's why white men hold on to their hair as long as possible.
Yes, and all the ones that are balding are still trying.
I have another person that's seriously attractive without hair. Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
accurate.
He's Hawaiian, stupid.
Oh,
Who?
isn't he like? Isn't he like also?
The Rock.
Isn't he also got? Doesn't he also
The
have
Rock. Dwayne the Rock
African
Johnson.
American in his?
The Rock
think
is
that's
mixed. Let me rephrase.
Yeah.
White
Hawaiian
people.
and
So mixed and black people. Like people of color can pull off bald heads. Like
Like, an
in
awful
most
lot.
cases. Okay,
we
but white. I'm making this as racist as I don't give a frick because it's hair. Who gives a frick? If you are legitimately offended by me saying that a black dude looks like he can pull off hair more than a white
more
dude,
attractive.
you're not paying
That's a
attention.
compliment.
But
That's-
okay, but either way, my point stands. It literally means nothing to a black dude to have hair. Like, I mean, he can, and some people, like, some of them want to because they have dreads. Like, dreads is a big deal for black people.
Dreads is 100% only a black person thing.
Well, that's
Really?
because
White-
how? Okay, if a
White
white
men-
person has
white men
dreads,
have no, I have seen them. And
I've seen them
up in like the
No.
mountains in Asheville and stuff.
it's artificial. It's
Are
not
you-
real.
No, they're real. They're just it's just not.
It
doesn't
looks
work
like somebody
for
tied
white
their hair in
people.
knots. It's not the same.
I have a
Like
question
for
is-
example. Oh yeah, go ahead, Timothy.
I was gonna say this may I don't know if this is racist.
Oh God,
That's
don't
a
don't.
great way to start off.
Gosh, what is
Great way to start off.
Shut up. What is the worst
Stay
hair
with
for a
Tim.
white person, and what is the worst hair for a black person to have?
Okay, I'm gonna answer. I want
Person
to.
that
No,
tries
I
to
want the
have
first.
white
I want the
hair.
first answer.
Okay, fine.
And the white
I want the
person
first
does have
answer.
black hair.
Okay, the
Sure.
worst hairstyle for a white person is bald. But the worst hairstyle for a black guy, we're talking about a guy. We got guys. Black guy, white guy bald. Black guy, the worst hairstyle is anything where his hair is straightened.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah. Yes, I was
If
gonna
he
say,
different
has
for me.
white person hair,
listen,
I'm
if he
sorry.
has-
This right here, this is not gonna work on a black dude's head. It's not. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
Listen, I was gonna say the same. I was gonna say, imagine an African American man having a hippie hair, like the long.
No, they do. It's just dreads.
all the way down. No, like far down. I mean, like to like the hip.
But yeah, usually they're in dreads
That's-
though. But like it's still, it still counts as hippie hair because like
Straight.
hippie is not designed around the hairstyle. It's designed around the clothing, a mixture of everything. Don't make fun of
Alright,
Ash.
any-
I can and I will.
It's literally the same thing, except white guys can't pull off dreads, black people can't pull off white people hair.
Yes. It's funny because it's not even a racial thing. It's just straight up how people's hair
It's
grows
just the
in.
truth.
Oh,
They
now
can't
here's one.
accept
Here's
it.
one hair. Here's one hair that's not like is united by every race.
Oh
The
dear.
ponytail.
No.
Ponytail.
I've seen
No.
most people can pull
Are
it
you
off.
talking about
With guys,
white-
we're
are
still
you
on
talking
with
about
guys.
dudes?
Yes, we're
Yeah,
still
all
talking about
guys.
with dudes. I'm
That
sorry, I
version-
disagree.
That version, no, the
I
version of
100%
ponytail where like. Where,
Oh, the virgin
Yeah,
ponytail.
like the one that's short and like right, like you put a little tail over here.
He's talking about the Asian one, aren't you?
Yeah, no, he's talking. No, think about like
We're just
neck
making
beards.
everything racial.
Like the people
That
that like
is
on
disgusting.
Reddit spend way too much time in their basement. No, like I'm saying like a very short ponytail that like with the usually they pull it back. It's usually like it's a good hairstyle for someone who like can pull it off. But I'm telling you right,
Pull it
no,
off.
not even just
I
that.
would pull it off if I ever saw it on someone's head.
It's just.
I had it for one solid night. Someone
What?
managed to get it in my hair, and I look like a white dude named Kyle, and I still do. But like now, it's just because of the apparel, not because of the hair. No, I have pictures. I will not share them
I swear
on this
I have
podcast, but I have pictures. I'll send them to you later.
I have met Kyles, and they totally fit the energy
Of
that
a
everybody
ponytail.
says that and just.
What name
There's
is
nothing
mine?
wrong. Timothy, that's your energy. It's just Timothy. It's Timothy energy.
There is no other
You're
energy.
you're one of a kind, Tim. Let's just put it that way.
All right.
Name Timothy
Now,
is not
let's
a
change.
band,
Let's change the direction of
Yeah,
the
but you
conversation.
own that name.
Hold on.
It's yours.
Everyone, shh.
Talking about women now.
Shh. Let's change the
Talk about
direction of
women.
the conversation.
All right,
Same
I'm ready.
question. Women. How important can they pull off bald?
0.
Yeah, 0.
Because all the
I'm
cancer
sorry.
patients in this chat are
Okay,
going to get really offended.
Be careful, because I think
A wig. I would rather you have a wig.
Shh, hang on. Say something, Jake. Go ahead.
I said be careful because I think, not that I assume that he watches your streams, but I think there might be someone who gets upset with the mention of bald women.
Why is Joshua listening to that kind?
Who?
I think we all know who I'm talking about. The slap heard around the world.
Oh.
I can't believe it took y'all that long.
Dang.
Well, I didn't get it.
Okay, no, I'll say it straight up. Will
don't
Smith.
get
No, there's no way he'll ever find this podcast. No,
No.
but here's the no. I'm trying to say it this way. I'm not trying. I'm gonna be very clear here, and this is where no one's gonna listen to this part because they're gonna be too focused on the comments I made about this. Bald women that cannot grow hair because of cancer treatments, whatever. That is not something you can control. So I'm not trying to demean the beauty of a
I'm not
woman
gonna
because
say-
they cannot grow hair or they're bald.
Well,
What I'm
I'm-
saying is by natural standards,
If they
without
shaved it.
disease,
The
if a woman
only-
chose to shave their head, and black or white,
The only
Could
one
they
I
pull it
know
off?
Who do? The only women who do that though are usually African American.
because they wear weaves. They do a weave. They
Right.
do wigs. They do all of that toupee,
Fine.
whatever you put there.
It's totally fine.
Yes, and the thing is though, is that because it's so accepted in that culture, like it makes sense. But here's the thing: a lot of the times you never see them without like something covering their head, right? Like they'll wear the hats to church, they'll have the weave in, whatever you want to put there. They're always there. Same question about white people, or like in specifically anyone else other than black women. Is
I've
that
never seen one that by choice shave.
if they
their
did,
head.
it was because they were doing a whole.
Bit.
Like
Yeah,
they were doing a
challenge.
whole transformation
Never
of
have I
we
ever,
all know what I mean by that.
What the frick,
Or,
Tim?
or they're
Never have I ever. Oh,
or
there.
they're, or they're lesbian.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm sorry, but the lesbian has a very specific hairstyle, and I used to have that
That's
hairstyle.
Man.
Remember
Yeah, you
remember
are.
John with the
I've seen
lesbo cut?
shave. I've seen the shave.
No, with the wave hair that goes down the
I've
side of their head.
Ugh.
That's definitely the lesbo hair.
You're
I've
not.
had that hairstyle. Let me tell you something funny. I've been called. It was called the lesbo hairstyle. It was pretty funny actually.
John,
That I of all people would pull that off. Go ahead, T.
I have to say that
White female.
with the cancer thing, I think they did win something. Like
I have
they
no idea
never-
where he's going with
listen,
this.
listen.
Whoa, where's the? Hold on, no. Where's this going?
Listen. Well, if you let me talk, I'll tell you.
I'm worried about what you're gonna say.
I know.
Let me talk. If they,
It's just
even
the
though they
cancer
lost their hair,
people.
okay. Well, even though they lost their hair, they definitely won a personality because they. I don't know. Most of the time, when I've seen a girl, like a girl or a boy with cancer, they most of the time are much nicer than.
They
any other
have.
person.
They're not taking it for granted. Correct. So
Yeah.
yes, I
They have
understand
everything
that.
in perspective.
They make up with
Yes.
personality.
Well,
that's what
yes,
I'm saying.
because they're
And
you
not
know.
the, not the version Sam is.
They don't.
really-
Okay, and this is okay. Now I changed the topic.
Sam's dying. already.
Sam, let's hear your opinion, and I'm gonna ask a ridiculous question once again. Go ahead.
On women without hair.
Yes.
Unless I mean like, if I were a woman and I did have cancer, I would personally.
No, I'm not talking about cancer patients. I'm talking about women without. No, I've already done the whole clarifying that this is not meant to be
Okay.
a discrimination against people who
Okay.
cannot grow hair.
Okay. No. 120,000% no. I saw this video, and this woman, although she might have had the condition, but she was pretty up until the point I saw her hair, and hair's like a big thing with me. Like hair's like top notch. Like,
Okay,
that's,
yes,
like, what
let's
I'm
move on.
attracted
Okay,
with women.
okay, we've gotten that across.
I got a question for you, John.
Okay.
Well, it's more of a top. Oh crap.
I also have one that's going. I'm gonna end the stream on my banger one actually.
I wanna start collecting cards like sports like. I can't
Yes.
decide. I know basketball is one of the more.
Hang on. Keep talking. I won't hear a thing you're saying, but I'll be just 1 second. Continue talking.
I think basketball cards are the most expensive.
Pokemon.
That's what I've heard.
It's a
Pokemon are also, and I unironically have considered it.
Actually, though, wait.
and
Actually, Joe Jake.
it's just because I have a gambling problem, and I need
Why
the
didn't you
thrill.
come on call?
I have a Blissey
Because-
V. It's a Blissey V. But Jake, if you're gonna do football, I already got. I got you.
Okay.
You do.
I can give you these.
Hey,
if you want.
Jake.
I don't want them.
Hey
What are
Jake.
I'm trying to speeding up.
Hey
What?
Jake. Look
What?
at my
What?
camera.
I'm
This
looking.
Used to be Pokemon.
all
Bro.
football,
Fuck.
baseball, basketball cards for
I
like
have a
12
gambling
years and
problem.
growing old.
I have a gambling problem, and I need a fix. And
I got
think
stuff
cards-
like this.
Check
I
it
think-
out, Jake.
Like, look,
check
these
all
are
my
look.
life.
When was the last time you saw Fitzpatrick in a Bills
Oh my gosh.
jersey? Look, it gets better. There's more. Hang on. Where's the Cam Newton one? I know I had
got it.
one.
I just talking about it, like, it gives me like an itch. I need to go buy some cards.
Okay, here's the deal.
It's a real
Jake,
problem.
Jake. Here's the deal. I don't know the
just
value
don't
of
know
half
what
of
sport it
these,
is.
but I've been itching to get rid of a good amount of these, so I will sort through these, and I'll just dump a bunch on you.
Awesome.
Mom wants us to go downstairs, clean up the kitchen, and watch an hour-long show.
Bruh, can we
hour
finish
right
the
now.
podcast? Oh,
now?
She said right now for Josh's birthday. No excuses right now.
Bro.
She wants
Bro.
us to watch the freaking Lord of the Rings one. Josh
Bruh.
likes it. Oh my gosh, that show's.
Bruh. Can we
new
convince
one?
Josh to tell her to hold it off? Is that possible? Like 20
Yeah, the
more
new one,
minutes.
it sucks.
20 more minutes. Cause I need an hour in.
Yeah,
We're
we
at
need-
45.
Yes, man.
Bro, I haven't even gotten to play any video games with my boy Timothy at all today.
You will
Bro,
later,
I've been
trust
wanting
me.
to play with you both all day, bro.
Yeah, because Sam had to be a homosexual
Yes,
and play
homosexual,
play
Rocket League.
Rocket League. with
Shut up.
John.
Look, shut the frick up. No one cares.
not shut the
Hey,
frick
hey,
up. I
hey,
will
Jake.
not be
Hey, Jake.
quiet.
What the frick?
I should
Jake,
not be
Jake,
silenced.
Jake. Chrome-plated Jamal Charles, Kansas
Oh.
City All-Pro
Oh my
card.
gosh, Jamal Charles is my freaking dude back in the day.
Let's see who else I can get on here. I've got so many.
Bro, he was so good before he got injured.
Yes, look, I'm telling you, man. There is so many cards in here. I can't even begin to find them all. I have one of a good old-fashioned Arian Foster Houston Texans
Oh,
card. I have back when Matt Castle actually started.
That's insane.
Anyone
Jake,
remember
the first
running
thing
back
is-
for the Tennessee Titans, Chris Johnson?
Chris Johnson.
I'm telling you, man, I grew up on these
This,
players.
Jake. This used to be
2K.
Pokemon.
Hey, remember
For a long
Wes
time.
Welker? You remember
Oh
that
my
kid?
gosh,
Yeah,
yes.
he's gone now. Rip that guy.
John
Yes.
used to be.
That's who I used to be.
Yeah.
Manti
that's how I
Teo.
used- That's who I used to be compared to back in the day when I played upward flag football. 'Cause I was such a
Oh
great
my
runner.
God!
was
I have a
great
Teddy
runner.
Bridgewater franchise Vikings card.
Oh my gosh, Teddy Bridgewater.
Joe Flacco when he played for the Ravens.
And he won a freaking Super Bowl, which Joe.
Oh, I have
Flacco,
a Super Bowl
being
card.
one of the quarterbacks out in this day and age who has won a Super Bowl is just insane to me.
Mario Chalmers from the Miami Heat. Let's see.
I like football more, but from what I understand, baseball and basketball are more.
I have a Jeremy
Money
Lin
makes
New York
worth
Knicks
money.
card.
Oh, dude.
That one's gonna be worth
Insanity.
something.
Linsanity was.
Anderson
Keep that for a long
Varejao.
time, John.
Let's
You
see.
make money from that.
I got so many freaking cards in here. I'm literally just
Yeah,
trying
John,
to
you
find
can
the
make money
ones.
off of half the cards.
I used to make fantasy
Well-
teams out of these cards, like legit.
Bro.
Also,
Dude.
funny thing, Jake. This used to be.
Oh,
Pokemon
speaking
cards.
of fantasy,
That's
I
okay.
No,
think
no, we're
my
not
thing
gonna
is
go on
it's
fantasy
a-
topic in
all right.
podcasts. No. Oh my God! Chrome-plated Tim Tebow quarterbacking for the
Oh my
Denver
gosh.
Broncos. These have got to
That's
be worth
awesome.
something
That's
now.
gotta be. I absolutely. Well, what's the brand? What's the brand though?
That one is this one is Topps Chrome.
It's Topps. Okay.
It's a
got-
Chrome one
I'm actually
too.
I'm actually gonna look that up for you.
It's in very decent condition. It's his 2010 or it's not his rookie. It's his second season.
I like the sports cards, Sam. Jake
Topps
was talking
Chrome.
about gambling.
2011, I believe, is this card.
2011. Okay.
Yeah.
Timothy Tebow.
Tim
What?
Tebow, Denver
That's my computer
Broncos.
there, Sam.
Chrome card. Like remember, it's Chrome.
Oh yeah, I looked it up.
Jake's thinking about gambling.
Okay, it is. It's graded when it's graded as a 9 or graded PSA 10, which is the highest grade, which is like when it's in really good condition, is $36. Which
Holy
don't have any-
smokes!
yeah, but like I'm just telling you this though. I was watching Penguin Zero.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Charlie.
Yeah.
He was pulling freaking Pokemon cards, and those were worth like $2,000. Some of them.
Yeah, I'm
Pokemon
telling
cards are way
you.
more valuable.
I got
Yeah.
Millennium Mins, Ben
And that's why I'm
Roethlisberger.
like, which is so lame because I don't want to be like that dude who collects. But they are worth
I have
so much.
I have the
Because
blind
I just
side.
love
I have the blind side
See,
guy
this.
on here.
Hold up. Let me see if. Let me see. Can you?
I cannot. I cannot.
Is that?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll figure that out. We need to finish. We need to finish
Look,
the.
is that
that's
it?
it,
Is that the
yeah.
card? Okay. Yeah.
I'll end up looking into a bunch of these and how much they're worth. But anyway, so let's get the podcast is at least
Wait, did
close
Mom
to an
say-
hour.
20 more minutes.
Okay. So really quick
Dad said it.
question.
All right. Let's get back. Let's get back. Into
Question.
podcast
The
mode.
final
Gotta
question I need to ask.
brain.
Final question I need to ask. This is going to banger. This is what's going to probably send off the next 20 minutes. All right. Death.
Oh.
I like that.
I like that
Oh,
no
God,
one. I like it
no.
that nothing can hear your clapping. It's really funny. So.
I hear my clapping, and that's what
I
makes
hear
it
my
work.
Okay. Here we go.
I can actually
Here we
hear
go.
from yours, Sean.
We went on the topic a minute ago about cancer patients, right?
This
And how
is
like
great.
they take things
I
for
love the way
granted.
this is going.
Shut up. And how they don't take things for granted. Well, I was actually listening to a podcast. Shout out to my boys, KB and Amin, Southside Rabbi. Go check them out. That's an official advertisement that they did not ask me to do. They were on a
Free.
topic of death. It was their first ever episode, so it's even better. It'll be the
Ah.
first one you listen to.
What a great way to start out.
Look.
death.
Okay, so they went on a topic of death, and they were like, "How?" And you know, we're all Christians, or at least I hope we are. Sam, shut the frick up. So we're all Christians here. So the idea of death, right? This is gonna take a serious turn.
You can tell
This
by
is
the
gonna,
Chick-fil-A on your desk.
yes.
That's how you
Also
know
not
you're-
sponsored.
You go to
Not
use
sponsored, but yes.
our
So no,
Christian.
my question stands. My question stands. Okay. How much, like, I'm gonna ask everyone here. How much do you think about death?
Every day. Of
Not
my
as
life.
much as I should.
A lot. All the time, actually.
I am
Okay,
so
okay.
depressed.
Let me
Please
ask.
help
Let me ask you another question.
Yes,
Okay,
the
see,
most
Jake, I'm
depressed
gonna hurt you
person.
and help you at the same time. Watch this.
Oh, I love being hurt.
How much do you think about what would happen once you die? Both on earth and on heaven, in heaven, and in hell, depending on
Wait.
where you go.
Wait, restart. What did you say?
Well, I would hope in
How
heaven.
much do you think about what happened? What would happen to everything you leave behind when you die? How much of it is important at that moment? How often do you, comparing yourself to the idea of how much you think about your own death, how much do you think about what will happen after you die?
Like what we leave behind? Like
Yes, like
we
what
have,
you
like,
leave
a-
behind.
like a
I hope
What
to
happens when
leave
you
be-
meet Jesus? Like, are you gonna be on the right side of the pearly
Well, I'm
gates,
gonna
or are
give
you
him a
gonna be in a
hug.
lake of fire? So the
Well,
goal
that
here.
second question is no. There's no way of telling.
Well,
I would
could
hope.
I could get very deep and theological on you if you want, or I could be just
Well, let me-
absolutely ridiculous.
Okay, you can go deep
It's
with
up to
theological, and I'll show you where I'm going with this. That way, maybe we can learn. So what I was listening to them, and I agree with this. One of the quotes he actually says in this, and I'm gonna quote KV here, is that he's like, you know, you invest in where you're going to spend the majority of your time. So like right now, even as a young kid, you put money and time into PC building, or, you know, where you spend the majority of time, your room, wherever you put that. Next, you would go for future. Okay, now you're investing your time and your efforts into, okay, I want to be in a relationship with someone who I could possibly be spending the rest of my life with. I want to invest in them. I want, you know, whatever you put there. You invest in those things, right? You invest in those things. All right. And he was saying how, well, if you think about it, we're all gonna die. This is gonna get really depressing, and then I'm gonna save it. We're all gonna die, and there's nothing we can do about it. Death is coming after every single one of us. His goal, his thing he said was, but if you invest in eternity, how much more wise does that make you? Because you are eternity is where everyone will spend eternity. That's it. Either you're in the lake of fire, burning alongside Satan himself, or you're up there celebrating with all the saints with God as the center of your universe, right?
Attention. Oh.
So my question now is the same. This is gonna get really like I said, deep and crazy like for a minute. But I decided I wanted to end a podcast on a really strange note, considering most of this conversation has been lighthearted, weird, hair.
Hair. That's a good way to describe this.
Literally beard, hair. I'm like, the title of this episode is going to be
Hair.
Death and Hair. There's only two things guaranteed in life:
Death
hair
and
and
hair.
death. Anyway,
You deserve your appearance. No.
no,
Well,
but
I don't know about guaranteed hair, but
yeah, well, it depends when you're born. Let me not say that. Anyway,
Ugly
but either way, my point stands.
Image.
How much do you actually ponder? Not on like, oh, I'm depressed because I'm lonely on this earth, and death is like, inevitable. But like the idea of death as an actual event in your history, knowing that eventually that it will come. Where have you been like focused on your investments? Like on earth?
So less thinking about death and more thinking about where you go after
Yeah,
death,
so
and if you want your life to continue.
What happens
Which, I mean,
to the
I guess
stuff
it's
you
not
have?
life, but-
What happens to you when you die? That's the question you ask. And this is why I was bringing this up, because when we were talking about, it puts into perspective, people were talking about cancer patients and how they just don't take things for granted. It's because it's now in their line of sight. It is now something that they can directly see in front of them.
Yes, that's exactly where I'm going.
I recently heard, more so like recently, I was like, maybe I should think about that more recently, because someone I'm not going to mention them or what they have, but like death might be pretty near for them. But so I was like, maybe I should think about that more. Maybe I should think, what if I were to die soon? Like, it's not so crazy anymore.
Yeah.
Well, as young people, I feel like we have a hard time really
Thinking
even
about that.
contemplating that.
Yeah.
We've got a,
We might have a long time to live. Like, we
Right.
might.
Mm-hmm.
You
We
never
might
know.
have a future ahead of us.
Just get that.
You never know. You never know. Someone can walk up to you with a Glock.
With,
I mean, hey, he's not
But-
wrong, dude. We in a weird place. There was a shooting downtown Youngsville or downtown Wake Forest today. Like I'm saying, you can just have a gunshot straight through your chest at any moment. You never know it was coming, and then all of a sudden you're faced with the judgment of God, and everything you thought we're building on heaven or on earth now means nothing in the eyes of heaven. So like,
Or like when,
Ugh.
well, John's the only person that can drive, but like car accidents, they
Yes.
happen all
I
the
can
time.
oh, they
drive.
definitely do.
technically.
I mean, I have
You
a
will be
dent in
able
my
to
truck
turn.
proving that they consistently happen, despite how much you might try your hardest not to break the law.
Well, I think also
Or other people breaking the law.
in today's age, in today's society, I'm gonna be like freaking, what's Jaden Smith or what's his son's name? I want to
Jaden.
talk about.
Oh God.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
sound
know.
like him for a minute.
Oh, you talking
But-
about Smith's Will
Jaden
Smith's
Smith.
son?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jaden. That's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna sound like him for a second. I want to talk about today's, the problems today. But
This
in
is
all
such a good
honesty,
music vibe for this. Anyway, sorry, continue.
in all honesty, though, just a lot of it. You've got a lot of stuff like constantly showing up in your face, so it's hard to really get past all that. You don't have a lot of time to yourself and just your thoughts. Like that's not something looked as even as healthy in today's age. I mean, you're on your phone constantly. You know, TikTok is like the biggest like example I can give of this. It's like 15 seconds. You will go from. It's not healthy to go from. I don't remember who I heard this from, but I remember hearing this. It's not healthy to go from watching somebody talk about like how they're about to be like dead. They're going through this really tough thing. They've got some really bad cancer or whatever, and then go to scroll, and then one time, and then you're on somebody's video about their dog and laughing.
Yeah.
It's not. You actually need time to contemplate and think on these things. It's very healthy, but it's just nobody really takes the time to. And,
Exactly.
Yeah, and so a lot of even I try to do a better job of that, but I don't do.
Yeah.
I don't do a good job of it.
You think about it, but you never do. It's
Right.
just like, oh, maybe I
It
should.
doesn't settle in. It doesn't settle in there. Like
It's something you've got to really focus on to do.
So and in such a social media driven society, yes, it's gotten to a point where like if you, and then this is something like, I mean, this is amazing how you can just recognize if you spend any moment at all in social media. If you are present on social media at any point and people recognize your presence, if you were to suddenly disappear off social media, people would think you were not okay. Like, how many friends do you know that have left the platform of social media and disappeared off the face of the earth, that you questioned whether or not they were, like, are they alive? Are they mentally stable? Are they depressed? Are they leaving social media to get away from it all? Most of the time, I've learned they were taking a break because they were distracted.
But and I will say this though, I mean, anything can be good as long any good thing is okay as long as it's within
Moderation.
Moderation, exactly.
Yes.
That's what I was looking for. Well, social media is a very useful tool, and it can be used for very good things as well. So it's not like it's something. I'm not gonna be like the person who says that.
Can't blame
it's just
social media.
It's not something that you can just say it's just completely awful and bad. There's very good possibilities through using social media, and it's something it's done a lot of good, and sure it has done a lot of harm too, but it's with anything, moderation is key.
Yes, yeah.
John talking about how like you think like when someone disappears off the face of the earth, like I didn't even think that was like none of my friends really use social media a whole lot, but like the YouTuber we used to watch, he just completely went off the face of the earth. Like he didn't say anything about it either. And we're like, what is he okay? And like, why was that my first thought?
The first thought is, oh no, he committed suicide. He's dead.
Yep. So,
Depression,
and
like-
here's the thing, and this
He's
is what I'm
depressed.
saying. Again, I bring back to the point of thinking about death as a genuine, like, this is like, it's a healthy thing, because this will not only like put into perspective where your life is heading. You either can get depressed or you can get hope from the idea of death. And this is where Christians and versus worldly people struggle to see. This is where you'll never see eye to eye, because so a lost person that has depression is more doomed. Like, they have no real thing to hook onto. But a Christian who's depressed can look towards a hopeful eternity. And so for the idea of like thinking about death in a way of saying that no matter what, it is coming, is a healthy thing for a Christian to do. It is an unhealthy thing for a non-Christian to do. But it can, as a non-Christian, draw you to think, okay, what actually happens after death? Which could then make you ask questions, so it can become healthy. But if you let it be a doom and a thing that hangs over your head.
So be healthily depressed.
Pretty much.
Be Christian and depressed.
Be Christian and depressed.
It's just that you have to.
Well, I would say thinking of death as a Christian shouldn't be depressing.
Yeah.
It should be
It shouldn't be.
hopeful.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't say
Well,
Honestly,
and this was something even this week I was thinking about. It's like you spend a lot of your time on video games, and we all do. I mean, it's nothing wrong with that. But how have you ever thought about like those posts that people make where they're like, oh yeah, this is a charity I want to support, it helps with poverty, but then they okay, cool, but like what, you're sitting inside your room eating all the food you want in the world, and you're not even phase really fast. You think you're supporting something, but your actions don't actually support it. You're just
Then
posting
people
something.
like putting hashtags, like
Raise-
being
yes.
like hashtag.
Raising awareness is not bad until it's the only thing you're doing. All you've done when you raise awareness is put eyes on a problem. But
That's
a problem
why I
is
wanna go on
only
a mission
solved
trip.
when hands are put on that problem as well. So the thing is like when it comes to a thing of, okay, well, death is coming for us all. The problems we have on this earth are very big. But here's the thing. If we spend most of our time distracted, with little things, like there's nothing wrong with entertainment. Let me be very clear. There's nothing wrong with video gaming, and the fact that we're recording this podcast
Moderation.
proves that I don't care.
Moderation.
Yes,
As we've been saying, moderation.
but if you are too busy doing something like this, when you know of someone,
Your mic keeps like cutting in and out. by
it
the
does.
way. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's,
you're back.
it's better.
You're good.
There you go.
Okay, it might have just been because it was too far away.
Maybe.
The more you do things like this, and the less you are spending time with those people who need it, right? It's like once you're building up a kingdom on Earth, and then suddenly you die. That kingdom is somebody else's now.
This is
That
why
kingdom is
I
somebody
think-
else's now. Because nobody,
This is why-
who gets the inheritance? You don't. You're dead. There's nothing you own. That now goes to the next person in line. So you're creating a kingdom that is left behind for somebody else to manage, and inevitably it will fall. So what's better to invest in than eternity?
Well, I'm gonna go on a different tangent now because this is kind of leading me into something that I've been thinking about: how bad COVID was for younger people.
Mhm.
Like I didn't realize it at the time how like depressed I was.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize what that feeling was back then during COVID. But now, like after after COVID ended and we were back out, and then I tore my knee and I couldn't walk or go outside or do anything. And even now, anytime I spend like most of my amount of time inside in my room, it feels like super crappy.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I want to be out. Like I'm not the most social person, but even
Yeah.
then I have a natural want to be out among people. It's
We're
weird,
created for
but-
relationship with each other. Like
Right.
God looked at Adam, and when he created him, he's like, it is not good for that man to be alone. Now, of course, he gave him a companion for life, but like the goal was that either way is that it was not designed for us to be, shelled up inside.
Solitary.
And this is why, by the way, this generation is so depressed, is because we are on our phones all day. We feel so connected to everyone. But have you ever actually thought about how much you desire to talk to that person while you are texting them?
Real face-to-face interaction is what
Mhm.
everyone needs in reality.
Yes.
It's like it's the only way to maintain a healthy life.
Yeah.
Is to actually have
Mm-hmm.
human interaction.
Yeah, I feel like
You'll just drive yourself insane. Like
I
really.
mean, I feel like I don't have many friends right now, apart from the people
I
I'm talking
exist.
to right now.
That's why.
I said there for you, Tim. I said most
My
of
man
them.
owned it. That's so good. I love that. Anyway, continue.
But I would. It's not. They're like, are you still talking? Like, are you still texting with that old friend of yours? I'm like, no. I mean, like, if I could hang out with them more often, then maybe. But I never end up doing that. I never end up hanging out with those people and
Yes,
ended
that's
up not
awesome.
being friends with them. Which-
relationships are so much more
Widely,
than just
Me and
friendships.
Timothy still hang out like face to face sometimes.
Yeah.
When we get
When
a
you-
chance
when you
to.
get a
That's
chance
what
to.
I feel like we're personally.
Well, and then think about it this way:
Like-
y'all are younger, so like right now you're still under the hammer of your parents. I mean,
Yeah, we can't
technically
drive,
I
we
am.
can't-
You can't drive. I can drive, so I can go. I've hung out with people within the last 24 hours. But like, to me, the importance of like, even recently I've learned this, that you cannot maintain a friendship through messages you read on a screen. You cannot maintain any sort of connection with a person by messages you maintain or by messages you read on a screen. You can only maintain that when you look them in the eye and you are able to speak to them and listen to them, because the only way you can truly know if that person is hurting, if that person is enjoying themselves, if they're happy, is if you are willing to take your time and pay attention to what they are saying, how they are saying it, and what their language is speaking to you, not just verbally but visually. And so for me, this is why social media causes so many people to think they are friends with so many people, but in reality, those people, in a very moment where it comes down to it, would leave them because they don't speak to them face to face. They wouldn't know how to interact with them in person. That's why it's so awkward. You've talked to this person on Snapchat or on Instagram for so long. You go to talk to them in person, all you have is what they've given you over a text conversation. So you're expecting maybe the kind of energy they give over text. But I've learned one thing. Energetic texters are usually terrible people to interact with in person. The drier the texture, the more enjoyable they are in person most of the time.
I got that. It's not just friends. I'm not gonna call her by name, obviously, but like.
Move on. We know who it is immediately.
Yeah,
Like.
but you're not. Yeah.
I don't dislike her either. We could. I feel like I mean, it kind of got worse because I didn't know. I couldn't tell who she was out of like text messages, and we couldn't hang out in person because she would always tell me that her parents wouldn't allow her to do that, which I don't even know if it's true or not, because that's just through a screen. Like I can't tell her facial expressions. I can't tell if she's lying to me or not.
Which we think she was.
Don't say
Either
that
way,
out loud, Jake.
Either way,
But, like,
move on. Yes.
I mean, like that's like I'm partially the reason why we stopped talking. I guess I
Yes.
don't know. The exact reason.
Okay, the
That's
point
fair.
is yes, and
Similar reasons.
I'm going through similar things with some friends where you're so used to texting them, and they give you such a vibe over text, and you're like, oh, okay, I can't wait to be around this person in person because then I'll get to experience this, face to face. I'll get to know the excitement. Then you get to this person and they don't even have it. They look dead. You're not sure if they're okay either because what you're expecting is not what you get, and therefore what you get makes you feel as though what you were expecting is somehow what was true in the first place. Well, it's the lie of what a non-verbal communication does to a person. And so even like when we're talking about like how many Snapchat friends you have or how many Instagram friends you have or how many people even in general that you just text with, I've learned my best friend right now cannot text for crap. That dude, like, the only time we text is when we need to call. We're like, hey, are you good to call? Because you're not sure if they're available. I mean, sometimes we get to the point where we just call them anyway, and if they don't answer, we move on. Or you just text, hey, want to hang out, and then by that point, they don't even respond. They just call you. So, like, it's so much easier to interact because you can hear it. You can hear in their voice what they're doing. But the point is, you spend so much time over text trying to maintain a personality, maintain something that isn't there. That when it comes down to being with that person in person, you are fake, they are fake, and all of this is only because the deception you put between you was a screen of messages that you thought had the right kind of energy you were expecting.
Exactly what I was saying. Like that's exactly what happened with me and the person before, or at least most of it.
Yeah.
So you circle back to the idea, this is going to hurt. If you circle this all the way back to the beginning of the topic, which was death. Who are you investing in your friendships? The people you talk to over text? The people you hang out with in person? Or the family in which you are forced to hang out with in person? So the goal is, yes, I said it. And so it's all about understanding where what matters, because in the grand scheme of things, for eternity's sake, the people you have the most the people you have the most ability to come into contact with face to face are the people you should invest the most time in. Like your co-workers, like for example, Jake, you worked with me and my group for a while. Your co-workers, people you can't avoid. You're hanging out with them all the time. Why not try and invest in those people? Because even though it's coworkers, suddenly they can just be done. Invest your time in trying to be like, a good person towards those people, and really just reflect Christ with those people. But it's the same thing with family. It's the same thing with like people you go to at church. It's the same thing. It's all about.
I love how we're having such like serious conversations about death, and then Timothy's just in the background waving around drumsticks. Just
Oh dear,
like,
yeah.
reading Harry Potter.
Hey, look, he's the visual, we're the audio. So audio words, audible. So like people are listening to us. People can see him. They're getting a good chuckle, but they're hearing what we're saying. But yeah.
Okay, so is that like the end of the podcast there?
Has anyone got anything to say? Last
I mean-
last
Oh,
resort.
there was a tearjerker, guys. I was so
It's inevitable.
I was definitely listening
Death
to
is
all that.
death is inevitable. Yeah. I mean, think about that in a way that legitimately changes the way you act, and like, yeah, that would be my thing.
Like,
Yeah.
what was that? I was
Okay,
definitely
so-
listening.
I'm gonna talk for a second. Not about that. Just like not for
Podcast over.
Yeah, I guess so. But I've been really wanting to either do, like, I want to talk like Christian like theology stuff.
Yeah.
Either, I don't know if I'll do it podcast form or just videos like on YouTube and stuff.
Mhm.
But I just need someone else to do them.
Hey, oh, okay, bro, legit. That's what this podcast is, by the way.
Anything about it, I would 100% do it.
So
Shut up.
I mean, look, here's the thing. This podcast, by the way, is going to be used for both serious and jokes. So, like, for example, my first ever episode, we were talking about weird historical events. All right, now episode
Right.
4, the same group of 4 people started the conversation with
With hair.
beards and ended the conversation with death is inevitable. I mean, come
Sure.
on. What? How can you go, by the way,
I just want like more. Of a-
I like how we started this because people that might not be Christian or whatever watching this
are going to
and
hear
they'll be like, "Oh, it's
beards.
funny, haha. It's just weirdness at the beginning, and they'll like keep watching because they think it's funny.
Just-
And, you get
And then all of a
Like,
sudden,
out
death.
Out of the sudden, just bam.
What do you think? How much do you think about death? What the frick, bro? I was supposed to be having a good day.
It just does. They may come here for they may hear beards and all that stuff, but then when it gets to the
Poor
Christian
Kason was in this
they
stream the
don't
whole
have-
time.
They don't have to listen. All they have to do is look at my screen, and they'll have such an enjoyable ride.
Yeah, well, and Jake, so here's the thing. By the way, my podcast needs to get more consistent, so I will do Christian theology for days at a time for backing up, episodes of podcasts. If you
Well, I
want to
really
do
wanna
it, I
help
mean, you can double it. You can use my podcast and upload it as a video as well. It's
Yeah,
like you can use clips of my podcast on like
Right,
videos you're doing as well. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So, and also bringing like the idea of Christian theology is like something that even as,
Yeah.
like we're young, so like we don't know even to the depths. We can study it, but like experience applies to a lot of Christian theology
I
as
feel
well.
like it would. I feel like it would also help with a lot of like actually getting me to like focus and like
Mhm.
read my Bible and study. Like,
Yes.
Study it. That way, I'm like actually coming up with good topics. And
Mhm.
actually bringing something. I was listening to what's the name of the book?
Mere
Just the-
Christianity.
Yes, Mere
Jesus.
Christianity.
Yeah,
And
C.S.
he
Lewis,
talks about
my
how-
man.
Yeah, C.S. Lewis, yes, is freaking
Bible.
amazing. Was talking about how, like, the best moral teachers don't create new morals. They just remind you of
Of the
good
right ones,
of
yeah.
the actual yes. So like, I'm not gonna try to bring anything new or any new
Yeah.
perspective on it because I mean, when you're at this far in the point of Christianity, there's not much more that
Yeah.
needs to be brought to it.
Mhm.
It just needs to be reiterated.
Well, and the thing about it is
some of the lost points need to
Yeah.
be like stuck out.
me and my friend were talking about this the other, like last night. Was talking about the idea of truth. Truth is itself a solid point. You cannot budge truth. Truth is truth. There is nothing you can do to change it. But what
So
you
we've
can
been
do
that-
is wrap it. You can wrap it with vines. You can make it so hard to tell that what truth is by just based on what you can hide it behind. You can smoke screen it. You can do whatever you want to warp it. But truth still stands. Just the way you see it can be warped. So the thing
And
is
one
that you got to unravel the truth so that truth stands as itself without and this is Proverbs literally says the idea of women of wisdom, a woman of folly is following the wisdom. Wisdom is legitimately pursuing the knowledge of truth and then applying it with experience, and so wisdom is applied knowledge is what I've heard it as.
I don't know if it's off topic or not, but like nowadays, like there's so many people that claim Christianity, and like a new person that's lost could like stumble upon someone that claims and has some things that are right about it, but they warp it and change it.
Yep,
That's
So
why.
that's
That's,
not
kind of
really
what I want to
true.
offer. That's
Progressive
Like, something I've been worried about.
Christianity.
I
And,
want to
like-
offer a guide. That's something that pisses me off so bad.
Yes.
And so that's why I
Yes.
want to offer just straight up. Here's what it says in the Bible. All
Yeah.
right, don't be listening to those guys who are bringing you.
Don't even listen to me.
these books.
Don't
Yeah,
even listen to me. Listen to what the
look at
Word of
read
God
the-
says.
Yes.
Amen.
Don't
Try it.
freaking because like they pick out like
I need a
Yeah,
soundboard.
don't
Oh my
take it
god, I
out.
need a
Don't take it out.
soundboard.
verse in the Bible.
This is podcast over. We should just keep going.
Don't like, and people take it out of context
Yeah,
too.
they can take like a verse
Out of
and take
context.
it out of context, but like in like a different
Yes, I want like a
just like a verse
debunking,
that
a
like
debunking
explains
kind of
what
thing.
that meant by that.
Yeah.
And are we still streaming?
Yes.
No.
I want like a debunking kind of thing, like
Yeah.
debunk like this fake thing, or like I don't know, just.
I
kind of-
think the
I
goal.
want to give a general overview.
And like we're lucky people. Like
I
we had
also, I've been
families
reading,
that
I've
just,
been reading a great book for school on church history, and that's also just amazing to read.
Yeah.
And like I was reading recently, I was just reading about the first martyr, Stephen,
Yeah.
and
And, like, we're just-
that's like such a like I've never really thought about that story until now, and it's just really
Yeah.
we're
Well,
we're
and-
lucky people with our parents being Christian before we were born.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that's
and
like
yeah, you could say lucky, or you could
That's
say fortunate. You could put it there, or you could like say
grateful.
some people. No, I will say there are some people, by the way, that the Christian parents are what turn them off.
Yeah.
And so,
that's
like, the thing is, it's Christian parents is not the standard. It's a Christian parent that passes that down in a way that makes their children want to desire it, not feel
Pushy.
forced into it.
pushy.
Yeah, not pushy.
What-
But like, you don't want it to be
No,
legalistic.
I'm saying like
that's what
kids
they
hate
come
church
across.
because their parents make them go to it.
Yeah, exactly. But
Like that's how it was when I was younger. Like
Yeah.
I didn't want to go
Yeah.
to church because I'm just being forced to. It's not like I want to go.
Yeah.
It's just like Sunday. That's where you're going.
Yeah.
You can't change anything. about
Exactly.
that.
But the whole point of Jake, you were talking about debunking. One of the things I will say, be careful on spending a lot of time debunking false, accusations of truth. What I would do is I would line up a truth and then find something that find points that people have made to bend that truth. Like let the foundation of what you're talking about be the truth, and let the arguments you're debunking be thrown at the truth. And so the idea is that
because
you don't
if
start
you
with a
do-
false point. You start with the truth, and you throw false points at the truth.
Because if you start with a false point and try to make it true, you're just as bad as the rest of the people that
Right,
Nah,
and I'm
make
gonna
those-
get. I'm gonna get.
are not
to-
as bad, but like make those.
You're spending more
statements.
time arguing against a point rather than showing what the truth is, and then showing why the points that people make aren't true, right? And so like debunking it to me is more of like it's more spending time not arguing against, but expressing for the truth. Like one of the ways I would say it's done is like I actually heard once again my man KB got his hat on. Is that T? Please take that off screen, or whoever it was that streamed something,
Yeah. It's
because it's taking up the stream. Yeah. Okay. But is that yeah? To go on. It was a conversation between two people who differed on a political point. I will not make the statement of what it was, but they spent majority of the time, like you could tell they were arguing at some points, but most of their points were made based on scripture that pointed towards why they believe it. And it's a secondhand point, so it's not detrimental if you believe one way or the other, but it is a point that it's like, okay, but it is something you can throw into perspective. Okay, well, this is a thing that people had to talk about because it is an important thing in today's society. So the point being is that they did spend most of the time not really ever arguing against a point, but more saying, here's what the truth says, here's why we can believe these things. And so, when you have a truth, it's usually an ideal or a standard, but how you go about that truth can differ as long as the truth is still intact. But you
Also-
can't bend the truth.
Yeah. I also want to spend a lot of time talking about Revelations because there's some just wild
Yes.
stuff in there.
I've started to
and
get
I
excited.
love it.
I will admit, for a long time, Revelation made me scared out of my pants. Like listening to the idea of what Revelation brought along, and I have this weird. I'm assuming people have this just because it can't be me alone. Where when I read through Revelations, I actually picture the imagery it's doing and seeing signs of it now, and it scares me because it's like, oh shoot, we're getting there. Oh, am I ready? And all that crud. when I shouldn't be, but when I shouldn't be focused on the future because the future is not here yet. I need to be focused on what I can do in the present to set up other people to enjoy that eternal future that I can enjoy as well, right?
Yeah.
And so Revelations has gotten to a point now where it does bring a heavy stone to the table,
Well,
but
I
it is a
always-
very enjoyable topic if you know what it means for Christians.
I know, though. I understand people worried about like saying that we got to be close to the end times. It's so awful now, but there are so many times in the past where that has to
That's
have been the
been
feeling.
way
World War
worse.
II. World War II was one of them.
Exactly. I mean, freaking.
Way
you had
worse.
you had Hitler searching for
He was going after him.
Jews,
Yep.
chasing
They-
the Jews.
Dude, they nuked a whole place. Like, there was a point.
Chasing the Jews.
Yes.
Like that's like how closer to
Yeah.
can you get than
Exactly.
a dude freaking hunting down
Mhm.
the Jews?
And
Like,
it looked like what they referred to as the Antichrist in Revelation. It talked about it. Looked
Oh,
he
he
looked
was-
like
he
that
was-
guy.
he was definitely a I don't remember what they call them, but they were like
Beast.
because in the Old Testament you have people who were supposed to be like representatives, like people before Christ who showed Christ-like qualities, like
Yeah.
Moses and other
Antichrist.
people like
That's what you're looking for.
that. Right, the Antichrist. But like that's what I think Hitler was like an early representation of what the Antichrist will be like. 'Cause
Yeah, it's a
if you
warning
look at the
for
Antichrist,
people.
if you look at the Antichrist story, he is supposed to be like he's
Sam,
a
please,
copycat.
no.
He's the complete like copycat of Jesus. He's even got his own like John the Baptist, like dude who comes before him and
Wasn't
prepares
it?
the way.
If I'm correct, that was Stalin, right?
I mean, you could say that he was like
Okay, yeah. Either way.
like I said, he's gonna have like he's a complete copycat of Jesus. So it makes sense if Jesus had dudes who were before him who showed Christ-like qualities that that the Antichrist will have dudes who are showing
that
like
show the opposite. Yeah,
Antichrist.
exactly.
Right. So I think that makes sense to me. I don't think there's anything like
Well, and the thing you can say is like, there's no way to, and this is something I'm learning, like, just how apocalyptic and spiritual realm sense Revelation brings to the table. A lot of what you are hearing said in Revelations is cryptic, because, in
Right.
my opinion, it's apocalyptic, and not only that, it seems like it's coming from a spiritual field. Now the signs are warnings. Like, you can see things that it's warning of, but it is a spiritual realm conversation.
Also, a lot of I mean, you have to think too. It was all through the eyes of, I think, was it John?
Yeah, it was John.
the one?
Yeah, John was the one.
So it was all through the eyes of John.
Right
so
before
he
he
was having
died.
to explain stuff that he probably hadn't seen before in his life.
Mhm.
So like a lot of people said that he talks about. I think there's parts where he talks about dragons made of like steel.
Yeah.
That's like planes, basically, is what I'm imagining. Or helicopters.
People say that that's possible. I don't tend to believe that, only because the imagery
Well, I
is
mean-
a little bit more like you're saying. He's never seen it before. However, it also is something that I can think about and say this way. It could be that he's trying to dumb it down, right? Because he's writing this book because he had a vision.
Right.
He's describing
Yeah.
what he sees. Remember, they said, like, for example, when he describes some of the characters that he saw, they had faces like people, or they had the face of a lion, but then they had faces like a certain thing. Is that he's describing what it looked like, and he's trying to fit it into what we see today, what
Yeah,
they saw
that's
then.
what I mean. That's what I mean, basically, right?
Yeah.
That's why I would say like the Iron Dragons would be like planes, because he's trying to explain it in a way that people in that day and age could read and understand in some
Yeah.
sort of way.
It could be,
which
but
would
once
be
again, it
my
would still be.
train of
It
thought.
could still be, like I said, Revelation seems like, and you're talking about God's glorious return. It would seem to me like what he is saying in a lot of these senses is also more, there's no way to tell in time what it's talking about either, right? Because it's a very different, time sense. It's very strange to think about. And again, we could get deeper into this and probably spend hours upon hours.
Eventually, yeah.
And then also all of a sudden feel like we disagree with each other. But in all honesty,
Well,
everyone who studies Revelation
and
disagrees with
that's- and
everyone. who
that's-
I
studies
don't.
that's
I don't.
Revelation.
why-
I don't have a
that's-
place to disagree with either of y'all.
That's where the different denominations come in. Like
Or
that's why,
Southern
like,
Baptists in general. The Southern Baptists can't
Oh,
agree on anything when
there's-
it comes to
there's-
Revelation.
there's definitely still some even within denominations there's still disagreements and whatnot.
Yeah.
But that's why like that's what frustrates me a lot though is that you've got, I mean, people look at that and think, and it looks kind of disjointed. I feel like
Yeah.
everyone, even though a lot of the disagreements, like some of them, they're big theological disagreements. Like obviously Protestant and Catholic, those are two different things.
Yeah.
So those, like, there are some that yes we need to be separate from them, but then there's other ones that are like very small differences we have that aren't the most important, I think, to be arguing about.
Yeah. Anyway,
We spend a lot of time on. But
talking about that will probably require another episode because we are
we
now
gotta
running
go.
up hour 26. So we've actually spent 40 minutes on this. So anyway,
Normally,
not that bad, yeah. But no, we spent an hour and 30 minutes. I'm saying the
No,
last
after we
segment,
get the 20
death.
after we
From the
get-
point I asked the question, remember death? It was approaching 45 minutes. So we've ran over by at least 30. Anyway,
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
This was a great podcast. Like, I'm gonna be using this format again definitely soon with the face cams and stuff, depending on who I can get in here. And to be honest, if I don't use face cams, the Discord where you see who's talking, definitely gonna be a big deal. But I will definitely be bringing a lot more depth into my podcast, as well as I might separate them as well sometimes to have more lighthearted and more serious. This was a
Like,
casual
fun.
conversation.
When we get a chance though in the future, I would like to. I mean, it could be all four of us. It could be whoever is interested in being involved with that. Though I want to get together and talk.
Yes.
Like it could be just through Discord
Yes.
and talk
absolutely.
about the
We
the
could do it in
future of
person. Even.
my. I mean, we could go over there. I mean, we're
We could have, like, a
we're off of school
in-person time.
tomorrow, to be honest.
Or they can come over here because I got more
It's-
room in my room.
Full Sam.
It's whatever.
I mean,
It's whatever.
I
can't
I was
swim.
exposed to someone
Maybe I
with
can.
COVID, so technically that's off the table. But
Uh,
either way, and I don't
although-
know. I don't know if I have it
Whatever we
yet.
do,
But
we could talk to Discord even. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
well, you want to
Either
talk
way,
about?
I want to get together and try to figure out what we're gonna do. What I want to do with that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, absolutely.
Christian like theology podcast or whatever.
Absolutely.
I know, and whoever's interested in doing it, Timothy, you don't have to do it. I think it would probably bore you. You're kind
Probably.
of bored.
Yeah, he's
Probably.
definitely falling asleep over there. He's
I'm
got
just
the
correct.
lights off and everything. He's like staring at the screen like, is this ever gonna end? Anyway, but yeah, no, that for the Sober Mumblings podcast though. This is episode 4. I'm gonna be trying to get more podcasts up. I've literally sucked at recording podcasts for the last month. I've been all over the place. I literally went to Virginia in like an impromptu trip, literally last Friday.
Oh, yes.
And then I will be going again on the 16th, so it's going to be very interesting to see how I fit that in. I will probably record one with the person I'm going with on the 16th. But either way, that has been episode 4 of Sober Mumblings. Thank you all for enjoying this podcast as much as you possibly could.
enjoying. So rough.
This will
Right
probably this episode will drop on Tuesday what is today? My bad. Tuesday the 13th. So a day before my birthday, this podcast will actually drop. But anyway, yes. So I hope to see you guys again on the podcast. Whoever decides to, if you're watching this live or if you're playing this back. Yeah, that has been Sober Mumblings. We will see you guys next time. Peace out.
I